This is not perfection.
I'm bored of being an Olympic standard BMX arm.
Well, I watched Countdown once.
Let's go see what they'll do.
Wise fools.
Welcome in, everyone. I'm Grit, as always, joined by Nath, fucking buyer of sweet t-shirts. How's it going, dude?
That's going alright, dude. Buyer of t-shirts that aren't out yet.
Aye, right. Still waiting for your next one, aren't you?
Aye, doesn't come out till October.
I'm actually fucking knackered today, like, so I was actually streaming Kingdom Come until about fucking, I think, like 3:30 in the morning or something.
Aye.
I don't think I got to bed until about 4ish. I've been sort of like commending you for like avoiding giving us spoilers for 6.5 fucking years. Like 6.5 years you've been waiting to fucking talk to us about this game.
So are you 100% finished the game now?
Aye. I mean, not every side quest and that, you know what I mean? But I've done all the story and all the main stuff and that.
Aye, right. This is one of me concerns with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right? Like, it's like you sort of like by the end of the game, you sort of had like a bit of a status, obviously because of all the things you've done. Like, you've sort of got a bit better status.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Because the thing I was wondering about, and this is sort of spoiler free, like I spoke about this a bit with Shrubs and Bob anyway. I sort of wonder, like along the same line of what you were saying there, by the time I finish the game, like I'm max level in lockpick and I'm max level in strength, I'm max level with me fucking mace, with me sword, with me everything.
Aye.
So like how are they gonna strip back me abilities at the start of the second one, you know what I mean? If they make me as OP at the start of that game as I am at the end of this game, it's gonna be too easy. If they do sort of take it away, like I'll feel kind of ripped off, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've put all this work in and suddenly I can't read anymore, I can't pick locks anymore, I can't fight with a sword anymore. Like, it's weird. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Wait, I'm sure this has happened with games before, where because a lot of people might be playing Kingdom Come for the first time as well, so you've got to still give it that new game experience. Like, but Shrubs is saying Henry will be in a car crash and wake up with amnesia and have to learn everything again. I've noticed in one of the and like one of the like sort of game thingies, like the when you announced it, it does actually look like you fall off a cliff or something on a horse. So I think something like that is gonna happen, which is a bit shit, but at the same time, what else could they do? Because you can't just start a game OP.
And you can't just strip a character back and nothing with no explanation. But if that is the way they're gonna do it, if he's gonna suffer some kind of memory loss or what have you because of some accident, then it's like fair enough, you know what I mean? You're probably gonna, you remember at the start one where you end up going back to Skeleton and you get your fucking head bashed in. Like, that's probably gonna happen on the way to Kuttenberg, I imagine. Like some point, like after the final cutscene of this one and then before the first cutscene of the next one.
When I first started working away, my very first job outside of being an apprentice myself, actually, like when I started working away, I met this lad called Steve, and he was an apprentice joiner, right? And we got on quite well and we sort of half stayed in touch. He must be one of the most talented people I've ever met, you know.
Like at what?
Wait, this is the thing, dude. Everything. Like,
fucking hell, just pure jack of all trades.
Was it 1 minute he's good on a BMX and stuff, dude. So sometimes he puts videos on of him doing like good tricks on a BMX and stuff like that. He had a DJ on this, I don't know if it was like just strictly online radio sort of thing called Goat Shed or something. He had like a slot on there, like doing DJing, dude. One time I even seen he won a medal at this horse show, dude, like for riding horses.
These are all like totally unrelated things as well, you know.
I know, dude. He's good at like literally everything. Maybe he should start gambling. You know what I mean?
Maybe you should start giving some fucking talents to the rest of it. You know what I mean? I've got nothing over here.
I know. We're sort of half funny. That's all we've got, dude. And then you've got the likes of Steve here, who's like, he's just the talented at absolutely everything. Just thinks, so I'm bored of being an Olympic standard BMX. I'm gonna be a decent drum and bass DJ on this radio show for a bit. Once I'm bored with that, I'm gonna start riding horses and winning horse shows and things like that. It's mad.
I'm gonna go and fucking charm a princess out of a tower with me fucking loot.
Right. Like, honest to God, like he's just absolutely talented at everything, but I don't think I've ever met a guy like him before, like who just has so many different hobbies. hobbies, and he's good at all of them.
Was he pure bragger as well, or was he pure humble about it?
Nah, dude, he was like, I haven't seen him since he was an apprentice in it. Like, I was 19 at the time, and he must have been a teenager at the time. And obviously, I'm 30 next month, so it was a long time ago I met him. But I can imagine he's the same since. Like, I used to say when you're going live on that thing, so I like drum and bass music. I say when you go live on there, like, let us know, and I'll tune in if I'm like not doing anything else or whatever. And he was like sound about it, like he seems still like he's pretty cool. Like I say, I haven't like full on met up with him since like all them years ago. But he's never once like came across as like a fucking one of them guys are sort of like, you know, I can't imagine him being like a brag or anything. He seems pretty cool.
That's what you want, like, so fucking fair enough, people being good at stuff, you know what I mean, especially the stuff they've put the time into learning that. But like when they just go on about it, like, oh, I'm the best at this, I'm fucking class and all this, it's like, mate, pull your head out your own arse for 2 minutes, you know what I mean?
Aye, he never ever struck us as being like that. I mean, you never know, like winning all these medals, what might have went to his head by now, and he might just be walking around constantly like that.
Saying that though, I think if ever you're gonna be a bragger, it's when you're young. Like when you're a teenager, you tend to be a bit more big-headed, and then you kind of chill out as you get older. So I doubt maybe you went the other way and started off humble and then turned into a arsehole about it. But I don't know, it's probably not the case.
Aye, right. Now he seems pretty cool. I think if there's someone like that is just generally going to be like one of them people where everything you touch turns to gold, it probably it's a good job it is someone like him. You know what I mean? Like
instead of like Kanye West or something.
Aye.
Like, so he's got no talent, but he goes on as if he's the most talented guy in the fucking world.
Aye, and it's weird. I don't know if that's just like sort of like it being in like the music industry. There's a lot of people that end up like that.
Yeah, I suppose you've sort of got to be, there's got to be a level of big-headedness to like actually sort of like make your own, well, not even just music, like even us doing this, for us to think like, oh, the stuff we talk about is so good, or that people must want to hear it. Like, that's pretty big-headed, you know what I mean?
Aye. Are you not seeing that one where, do you know Jennifer Lopez? Like, she goes like back to the house she grew up in, and was it some guy saying, she's like, oh, I used to live here, and he's like, what? And he was just like, oh, I used to live here, and he's like, all right, and then he sees like the cameras, and he's like, well, who are you? And she's like, Jennifer Lopez, expecting them to get no, and he's like, who?
You know, Jenny from the block.
Aye.
I don't know why people do it. Like, I wouldn't, if I ended up here rich and famous, I wouldn't be coming back to this house in 20 years. Oh, I used to live here. Like, if I come back here, it's because I've here fucked up and lost all my money, you know what I mean?
Aye. Although, like, I kind of liked it when Ozzy Osbourne did it, because he's got, like, band names on the doorway of his house that he was coming up with. Have you seen that?
Aye. Yeah, Pierre carved into the bricks and that.
Aye.
I sort of almost hated being sick from school, because there was, like, on the one hand, it's like, yes, I don't have to go to school today, but on the other hand, there's fuck all on TV. You're watching shit like fucking the Numberjacks on fucking CBeebies and that, you know what I mean, and fucking Countdown and shit like that. Like, it's just the most boring TV in the world between
it's the
like
likes of these
9
people,
in the
yeah?
morning, 3 in the afternoon. Aye,
It's the likes of these.
Target audience.
Hey, look at her giggling because she knows on about you, miss.
Oh, I watched Countdown once.
Do you know what is? Like, that wasn't that not really daytime though? Wasn't that a nighttime show?
No, it's unless you're thinking 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown.
Aye,
But
like
Countdown's on at like fucking 2 in the afternoon or something.
oh, is it?
I think so.
It was all. Do you know what is? Like some of the ones on. I used to find Jeremy Kyle funny and that.
That's another one I used to hate as a kid. When I was a kid, I was just like, this is just fucking boring drama, you know what I mean? It was basically like watching a real life version of EastEnders or Hollyoaks or some shit.
Aye, like I found it funny. I hated the ones that were like sad though, but there was this one I felt so bad for this guy, but it was funny where like they generally had there was like 8 guys there or something. His mum was dead, and there was like eight guys there to see if 8 of these people were potentially like his dad, and none of them were.
Jesus.
And they were asking like all of them that were there, like oh, how many other people were involved, and he was like, honestly, like there's a few that are missing from here, like, so basically, and he knew about it, so I reckon his ma was getting gangbanged or something. I think the guy was I think that like the guy must have Penny must have dropped that his ma was getting fucking 12 guys at one sort of thing, and he just burst out in tears. I was like, oh my god. I was laughing, but then I was like, I felt so bad for him at the same time.
Fucking shocking, innit?
And especially like because we're all dead old as well. So in the 80s, like fucking he's probably at school and there's fucking 8 guys banging the living daylights out of his ma while he's in school and shit. Fucking I'd hate out like that, me.
I'm glad I don't have an attractive mother. Like the worst I had to put up with was in school, jokes had been made, and I'd just be like, "Ha, yeah, I know." You know what I mean? Like at least she's not getting pure ram raided by 20 guys at once.
And it's like they had like at least 8 guys on that stage, and then what is it? Like, it was like, do you know how many other people were like sort of involved? And he was just like, honestly, there's loads. Like,
There's a few on the sub bench and that.
even the referee was in on it, that when he did.
Right.
I used to like Jeremy Kyle, but I like only the funny ones.
I can watch bits of it now, but the fucking just couldn't back when it was a pure omnibus on in the fucking mornings and that.
There's this one where he just struts on stage and he's like, I don't know who you are, but all I know is you've got towels or curtains up on your windows or something like that. It's but the ones of like Cash in the Attic and fucking that Dickinson's Real Deal or something. Now that guy who he was a dickhead, him.
He pure had like orange for a head.
Aye, and he's like, let's go see what they'll do. He used to move like a ghoul.
All with the shoulders and everything. He's a weird cunt, like.
Proper.
Fucking David Dickinson.
Is that what he's called? I met that guy at an auction. Dude, was he proper? Was he like that?
He's a right up his own ass twat. He fucking seems it, dude. Even just off the show, you can tell he's pure arrogant as fuck.
What a fucking prick. It's not like he's on a decent TV show.
Yeah, going on as if it's like he's winning fucking Oscars and BAFTAs and all that shit for it. Like fucking, he's just taking old people around car boot sales and that's all he's doing.
I know,
he's
exactly.
Just a fucking car boot sale tour guide.
Like he looks like he's tanned himself to be in a bodybuilding contest, but just like how they bronze themselves.
Getting pure oiled up and that for the auctions and that.
Right. Oiled up so much he could slip into shoes that are 3 sizes too small for him and that.
He just glides about everywhere, dude, like pure, like Frozone off The Incredibles.
Right, dude. But he just comes across as a massive prick, like.
He proper is. Fucking Britain's Got Talent as well, although that was more in the evening, like.
That was 100% a nighttime show, that. Like, after 5.
It was still shit, though. It's a fucking peak example of shite TV.
Like, I hate it when they fucking try and play on, like, there was this like couple that were like, they were like a ballet couple, like the husband and wife, and then at the end, like, the kid runs up on stage and hugs them and shit like that. Fuck that. I want the bits where they're pressing X's and telling them to get the fuck out. That's all I want to watch it for.
Same. Like, I hate the pure touch and shit. Like, I'm doing this because me nana's dog had a fucking haircut and it's so sad with its new haircut. Like, I fucking hate it.
It's and then there was that blonde lass called Amanda or whatever that would literally just cry at everything, like anything. There was this young lass that was on and she was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right? But she was literally just singing that song every week and they were just putting that through because there was a little lass I would have been like, man, you fucking sang that for 3 weeks in a row.
You're a one-trick pony. Get out of here. Big Brother was shite as well. Like, the bar of shame was getting steadily lower since then, and it's continued to decline now. But like, fucking, that was bad when I was a kid. Like, even as a kid, I was like, fuck, people do this shit on TV. Like, how could you?
I remember when I was a kid, I used to think that Davina who hosted it was a fucking MILF though. I used to fancy her as a kid.
I used to think she looked like a witch, me.
Maybe
she's got a big nose and big chin and that. Like, I can't imagine her like as soon as they cut the cameras and that, she's off on a broomstick.
You're right. Right, dude. I remember there was this guy on that Big Brother that because I used to watch it because my mum and dad used to watch it. Like, but it was mainly because my mum wanted to watch it. I don't think my dad did that much neither. And
I wouldn't imagine.
And what was it? There was this guy that just went like he just lost his mind in there and he was just walking around just smashing plates and that.
Right.
It was funny as fuck. And they've got like the PR alarms going off and like the guy who's like goes on the tunnel and say, please stop and all this. And he's just walking around just smashing plates, and there's an alarm going off as if he's fucking going around with a machete, and he's just smashing a few plates. Like, calm down.
Fucking hell. The mental on that. I used to love it when they used to go into the fucking. I mean, I used to hate it really, but I love it now. Like seeing clips of it when you see them going into the diary room, crying and like shouting at the camera and that. Like, I'm stressed out.
Aye.
It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, you signed up for this fucking show, especially when it's getting into like, you know, like season 15 and that. It's like the premise is clear. Like, I can understand you getting stressed out in season 1 because you didn't really know what you were in for, but you've obviously seen this show before. Like, that's why you've come on, because you think, oh, I can do that. That'll be piss easy. Just fucking gut it out.
Hi, right. There's this one where this woman like sees that she had news that her ex-husband died or something. He's like, David's dead, and this woman thinks that there's a guy, because there's a guy in there called David, and everyone's like, oh, David's dead, like thinking he died. And then everyone runs in to sort of check on him, and he's just been asleep, and he's like, what the fuck is all on about? Have you seen that, dude?
No, dude.
Oh, it's funny as fuck. Oh, dude, it's funny as fuck. And he's waking up like, what the fuck? And it's like, what? That's not funny, that. And like, fucking, so they're all starting on her saying you said he's dead and he's not. Like, you're not, that's not funny. And she's like, I'm on about my ex-husband and all that. But the woman she tells, like, she should have known that she was, because obviously she said, now I met her ex-husband, but as soon as she goes, David's dead. And she's like, like, straight away, crying. And she's like, no, calm down, sort of thing. Like, they obviously never met her. Like, she must have thought, oh, actually, he thinks I'm on about him, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
People just not absorb context, like, you know what I mean?
Trying to think of other, like, shit TV shows.
Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares was another one. He sort of winds us up, like, I find him a bit funny. He sort of winds us up as well, like, there was what I was watching a bit with Shrubs for, like, just laughing at sort of daft shit he was doing.
Aye.
And he always seems to, like, you'll go to this fucking, like, restaurant that's, like, failing, like, it's in a pure dismal state, and you'll go in and you'll, like, there'll be customers there, and you'll sit and talk to the customers and be like, I know it's terrible in it, well, I'm here to, you know, sort it out and fix everything, and that come back in like a month's time, we'll have a sort of grand reopening kind of thing. He'll fix everything and sort it out and sort of turn it into one of his style of things, do the things that he wants with the restaurant. And then after that point, if a customer complains, instead of again being like, I know it's pretty bad, he's like, fuck you, you old bag, you don't know anything, get out me fucking restaurant now. Like, it's pure double standards as fuck.
I didn't know, because obviously, like, he obviously is good at what he does. One thing I like about him as well is he shows his own feelings as well. Have you not seen it when he makes some sort of Chinese meal in front of like this, like, professional Chinese chef, and he's like, that's wrong, that what you've just done, that's not what this is meant to be. Like, and he shows his sort of his own feelings as well. But one of the reasons to stop doing that show is because, like, they would always just go out of business anyways. Like, they used to put loads of money into it, and then like people, I'm sure I've seen a video where they look at all the restaurants I've been to, none of them are still going.
Aye, right. I mean, the one I was watching with Shrubs as well, I was saying to him at the time, it didn't make sense, because he was like the place was like doing like really big like portions of food and stuff like that. And Gordon goes in and like, look, you've got all this spare food, all this surplus, it's just going to waste and stuff. Like, you're wasting money. And then tells them to like be giving out like smaller portions. And it's like, well, you're saying like fucking when you get rid of the food faster and not have as much of it, and then you're saying give out less of it. You know what I mean? Like, surely that's giving it more time to go off and all that kind of shit.
Wait, I didn't know. You can imagine that means they're ordering too much in the first place then.
Oh, well, aye, there is that, you know what I mean? But it's like fucking, and he starts getting them to order more, like, of like different stuff that the restaurant has never done. He's like, oh, get this in, people want this and people want that and fucking people want the other.
Do you know what is, like, when the subject was daytime TV, and we spoke about more things on the night time than through the day?
No, it's fucking just shit TV then, we'll call the subject.
Aye, right. Another one I hate is, like, I didn't understand how everyone wants to watch celebrities go and eat kangaroo bollocks and that. How do you think that's a good idea, like?
Aye, same.
It's fucking revolting.
Like, I was laughing at Johnny Vegas on about like, he gets rang up for it, like every year they ring him up to go and do it, and every year he just happens to be in the supermarket. Like, see, I would do that, but I'm here and I've got 9 Twixes and I don't have to do a task. And like, I was like, oh, that's a fucking point.
I read it's not even a real jungle. Wait, it's was it like I heard that it was like that, but they've got like I don't know if they just like put like creatures in it to make it feel like a jungle, but they've got like snake experts there in case a snake one has in.
I've not really looked into it, but I've always imagined it's sort of like not like a pure fake set in a studio, but I think it's a sort of like isolated area of jungle, because like I mean look at all those where they've got that sort of like little waterfall that's just ideally made for like showering under and stuff like that. Like it is out there, but you're still sort of cut off. Like, you know, there's not going to be any like large predators wandering in or anything like that.
See, I'd watch that. Some like fucking washed up celebrity getting attacked by a jaguar or something.
I saying, dude, like fuck putting them in this controlled part of the jungle. Just set them free in the Amazon. Drop them out of a plane with a parachute above the Amazon.
Aye, right.
Fucking that'd be some good TV. Like,
aye, right.
much better than just like, oh, I have to lay in this fucking perspex box with a bunch of fucking scorpions on us.
I couldn't do it simply because they're eating nothing but beans while they're in there as well.
Come Dine With Me as well. That's another fucking shite program, but it's got funny bits in.
A lot of these things, like, you think that you like it, but if you actually sit and watch a full episode, like, the amount of interesting things that happens probably is like 1 every 12 episodes or something. It's not like consistently like that all the time.
It's one of them where you've just sort of got to like watch the best bits compilations. I love the commentator on Come Down With Me. He's the worst part of the show, I think. Like, these snarky little remarks, you know, for a fact if he said that in the kitchen with him, he'd be getting fucking decked.
Like, I kind of like him. However, there's a commentator I cannot stand, and that's the one of Gogglebox.
Oh, I've never watched that.
Oh, what after the stream or something, we'll listen to he talks like he got kicked in the head off a horse.
Mouthful of peanut butter or something.
I know, he proper talks really slow like this.
Is that not fucking Ringo Starr off Thomas the Tank Engine, dude? The Fat Controller said Thomas hadn't done enough today. I don't watch that either. No, I've never seen the point in, like, because the shows that they watch on that are shite, so I don't know why I would watch people watching shit that I wouldn't even watch, you know what I mean?
Shubs is saying the guy on Gogglebox is ridiculous, kind of like the Big Brother commentator. Aye, the one on Gogglebox is Bingy. He's a fucking prick, and the one of Big Brother, like, you could tell that he was like overdoing like the Geordie accent as well.
Aye. It's become iconic though. Like, it's 8:17 in the Big Brother house. Chantel's got her tits out.
Day 45 in the Big Brother house. The housemates are still arguing who's pissed in the pool. Did you watch Shooting Stars game show? Aye, that was good.
Aye, like, since before I could remember, and that I was going around the new town like 4 years old doing the dove from above and that, like.
Aye. I loved how Matt Lucas was there just smacking the drums in a proper shit fashion.
Coming on in his baby costume and that.
Aye.
He's fucking class with what's her face? Ulrika ka.
Aye, they were class them.
You know what it is, dude? I had the opportunity to meet Vic Reeves and I didn't take it.
Why?
I was just fucking nervous, and I didn't really know that that's what it was at the time, but it was like, do you remember when they were filming the TV show here?
Oh, aye.
I'd come off the metro and was like walking back, and they were sort of doing it on that street where they lived in the show, and like I could see like all the stage, like, because this is like sort of late evening. I think it was like round about this time of year, sort of late evening, so it's fairly dark, and you could see like the production lights and stuff like from the Metty, and I was like, hey, what the fuck's that? It's sort of towards me house, I'll walk that way anyway. And then I seen like all the film crews and stuff, but I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of the show because obviously it wasn't out yet, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go and fucking have a look. But then there didn't really seem to be like any other sort of civilians hanging around. Like, everyone that was there seemed like they were meant to be there, and I was like, I don't want to just be like rocking up this. And then yeah, it turns out like Vic Reeves would have been there, and I could have went and met him, which I really wish I had done, because he's like one of my favourite comedians, him and Bob Mortimer.
Aye, right. I remember he was on it. Like, what about classic shows like Red Dwarf? Do you know what it is? I got told to watch that. I don't know if it was because I was too young to get it or something. Because there's a couple of shows that I found found hilarious as a kid, and I've tried to watch them as an adult, even though it's like aimed at adults. And there was one called The Bear's Tale, which was like just about the bear off Bo Selector, and I tried to watch that, and I didn't find it that funny. Whereas as a kid, I was fucking crying, laughing at it all the time. Whereas Red Dwarf, I got told to watch that off Mitchell Bridges.
He seems like the kind who'd be in a Red Dwarf. Not saying that I'm not, 'cause I quite like it as well, but like I can picture him being into it.
And he told us to watch it, and I didn't think it was all that, like. But I was still at school. I was in high school at the time, so I might find it funny now.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's like I used to find Family Guy hilarious and that back then, but I don't find it funny now.
Yeah, same. And it's one of them, like, it's not really like what one of them shows where you'll laugh at and you'll be like rolling around in tears, like laughing at it. But it's just sort of like, I don't know, a good little chuckle every now and then. Like it's good entertainment.
Did it have that Scouts guy off Robot Wars on it?
Aye, Craig Charles. I used to love him on the end of Takeshi's Castle and that. Like, as my old dad used to say, don't let your mother catch you doing that.
Yeah. I might have to sort of rewatch it.
I'd give it a go. I mean, to be like, I've never recommended it to you because I don't think it's your kind of show. Like, I don't think you're the kind of person who would be into it. You know what I mean? But it's worth a shot. Like,
no,
there's
right.
only one way to find out.
I wanted to show you this guy on the stream. Will I head over to the other screen? Are you seeing the size of this fucking truck that's in front of her? Are you seeing the size of caution racing pigeons? How big is the fucking pigeons?
Jesus, racing pigeons.
Aye, but look at the size of that for a few pigeons. Even horses don't get them that big.
And like them horse boxes that you see getting towed around are like fucking a tenth the size of that. I'd imagine there's probably like at least 100 pigeons in there, but that's still huge, dude. I could probably hold 100 pigeons in me fucking hands like that.
Aye, you could fucking get a couple of pigeons in your pocket, so why would you need that for a fucking racing pigeons?
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Look up at the window, it's covered in bird shit, aye.
Oh, fuck me, that's supposed to be a window, dude. I thought that was a plank of wood. Fucking hell.
Look, in their loading ramps, those pigeons have wheels, and I like. I didn't even see that. I thought it was like little ladders to look through the shit house window and go like, keep the noise down in there, you little cunts.
Right. Stop cooing in there.
But do you know what it is? Like, judging by the size of that, right? Like, because racing pigeons are worth a lot of money. That there's probably like there's hundreds of thousands of pounds in there if that's full of racing pigeons.
What I'm imagining it probably is like with them loading ramps and stuff like that is you've probably got like a set of like sort of pigeon coops up the one side and a set of pigeon coops up the other, or like on wheels or on rails or whatever, so you can sort of roll it in and out. Fuck knows, dude. I'm no pigeoneer.
Imagine if there's only one in there as well. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, like why do
one big huge fucking Don Pigeoni.
Right, dude. The size of a fucking Harrier or something. Pigeon collar. That's why there's cautions, cause it's the biggest pigeon in the world. It's just fucking like this.
Like the van's gotta be that heavy so that if the pigeon takes off inside, it can't actually lift the truck up.
Yeah. Like it's a lot of it. Like, but what? Like, even if that is like fucking full, it's like caution racing pigeons. Like, what's a bunch of pigeons gonna do? Like, it's not like it's got to be careful. There's a fucking tiger in your mind. You know what I mean? Like, so I was hanging out the window to see if I could hear them, unless it was empty or something. I don't know.
There might be. I always wondered sort of how various animals deal with like traveling in vehicles and stuff, because I've only really seen it like with dogs, and dogs don't seem to really get what's going on. You know what I mean? They're falling all over the place, and then like even with the little Jack Russell that my man's got when I'm talking about in the car, I usually like keep him on my lap so that he can't, you know, go flying around if we break suddenly. But he's always like slipping off me legs, and like he's like trying to get up on the window, and then he's falling off the window, and it's like, well, you just fucking sit still, dude. We're only going on a 10-minute drive. Just wait.
I'm glad that my reunions pointed out that pitch on the centre. Winning is everything. It says winning is everything with a couple of pigeons there. That truck don't look like it's winning. Nah, it doesn't look like it's not giving off champion vibes, is it?
You're expecting them to be turning up in big pure like McLaren fucking trucks and that, you know what I mean? But then some guy popping out of it still with one of them old men flat caps and a fucking walking cane and that.
I wanted to share that with you, because I thought it was absolutely mental. Like I thought that crazy. Like I thought that one of them little red vans that fucking Royal Mail go around with would have sufficed for a couple of pigeons. I
thought a fucking Ford Fiesta would have done the job. That's crazy, dude. I've never seen out like that before.
Can you remember the guy on Black Road? There's houses where he used to have it, like next to St. Oswald's, who used to breed pigeons.
I was gonna say, like, I wonder if it was anything to do with that, but then again, they haven't been there for years, have they, them pigeons?
Nah, there's houses there now.
Oh shit,
Was it? I tell you what, he would have scored fucking selling that land to a developer if you owned it, like.
aye, right.
But saying that though, if you bred racing pigeons, because there's no point in breeding normal pigeons. If you're going to breed them, it's got to be racing pigeons. So if he bred racing pigeons, he would have been in the money anyways, because there were thousands, you know.
Yeah. It's mad that it's even a thing.
I know, like, what's the economy around it? Because obviously with horse racing, you've got like the event, it's televised, and you can go watch it in any betting shop. Where's the crowd? Where's the, like, how does the economy of racing pigeons work?
Exactly. Like, what stadiums are being sold out for pigeon racing events?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's not televised. Like, you can't really go and watch it. So how come there were thousands? Like, because, like, I've heard it's a gambling thing. So what makes them, like, and who's going to gamble? Like, who goes? I've never met one person that goes to bet on racing pigeons.
It must be the people themselves. Like, say if me and you both did it, and I'd bet you know what I mean? Like, you've got your pigeons, I've got my pigeons, I'll put money on mine and you'll put money on yours, kind of thing. But then that's just money going round in a circle, you know what I mean? That's not really, like, income or anything. It's just like people trading money, and it's not really, it's certainly not a spectator sport, because I'm sure it's long distance. Like, I don't think it's just like, fly from this end of the town to the other end of the town. I'm sure it's like fly from like Edinburgh to London or something like that. Like, it's a pure long distance. Plus, even if it was pigeons doing a fucking lap in a stadium like you do with like human runners, how are you going to tell which pigeon you're rooting for? They all look the fucking same, dude. Like, how are you going to know whether you're cheering the right one?
Like, at least the dogs have them sort of numbers on them and things.
Yeah, exactly. And dogs are like, even there might be a brown one, there might be a grey one, there might be a black one, you know what I mean? But pigeons, they all fucking look the same to me. And I'm sorry if that's racist to pigeons. Fucking cancel as if you have to, but like, they just all look the same to me.
I can imagine it's hard as well, because like, fucking when you just see like pigeons kicking about, they've all got proper diseased as fuck feet and shit like that. So these pigeons must be in the top nick.
I wonder if any of the sort of the pigeons that hang around Jarrah eating Greg's pasty crumbs and that ever like see one of the racing pigeons and sort of like corner him and like, oh, fucking Richie Rich over here reckons he's a fucking big shot and that pure bully and all that pigeon and that.
Right. Like, I was working somewhere in the Midlands, right, dude? And I've like the pigeons down there were absolutely disgusting. Like, there's a couple of them, like, not one of them had a full set of feet. One of them literally just had a stub, you know?
I see that all the time. Don't know what it's off of. Like, I got told it was off, like, sitting on the, the wires, like, above the metro, and then the thing will come and, like, cut the toes off or whatever. But I don't know if that's really what it is.
Right. It's fucking weird. Like, I just don't fucking get it.
Because seagulls are another trampy bird, but, like, you don't really see them with pure missing feet a lot. Like, I've seen the odd one or two, but nowhere near as much as I've seen pigeons with pure amputated toes and that.
Right. Fucking was it? It reminds us of that thing where, how there's like, I think it's off that Mike Tyson Mysteries or something, where fucking, like, there's a pigeon on that. I think it's off there. And
it is, because he keeps pigeons, don't he? Or at least he used to, Mike Tyson.
Like there's a pigeon guy there, and he used to be a man, and he falls in love with this woman, and she gets a wish, like one wish, and like he's thinking like, oh, like she can fucking like turn his back into a human, but she wishes to be a pigeon like him, and he's fucking like, you stupid fucking bitch.
It's funny that like there's a thing on The Simpsons as well with the piss take character of Mike Tyson, Dredrick Tatum. Like, he's doing the whole pigeon keeping thing, but he's saying he's going bankrupt because fucking there's no more newspapers anymore, and he's having to put Amazon Kindles down for them to shit on instead of newspapers. Right. So what about mad shit we would do if I had a daft amount of money?
Wait, I've said this on a past stream. I'd kidnap you and give you a boob job.
I still really don't agree with this plan. Like, I'm gonna take all preventative measures possible. Booby trap me own chest and that.
Booby trap your own chest.
Honestly, soon as a scalpel touches me skin, big spikes fly out of us and that.
I was literally just thinking boob job. I've always said I'll get like ex-special forces to kidnap Griff and then sedate him and fucking he'll just wake up with tits as if now it happened, but he's just got tits.
Nah, they fucking raging like.
I couldn't take you serious though. Like, imagine if you come round like, oh, you're fucking taking the piss. What the fuck have you done this for? And I'm like, oh, dude, it'd be funny as fuck. I'd get rid of them for you, like.
Oh, well, fucking cheers, mate. Fucking. At least there's that.
I don't know what else I'd fucking do.
I'm trying to think of something crazy that you could do for your own entertainment, you know what I mean? Like buy the entire Formula One franchise and just replace all the cars with fucking bicycles or something instead. But keep the people, like, the same people have to stick to their contract, like it has to be fucking Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton and that. But now they've got to pure BMX around the entire course of fucking Silverstone or something.
I'd because you know how, like, I'd bring back jousting, dude.
Aye, right, that'd be a good one. Just tournaments like that in general, I think. Those whole sort of like having like duels and stuff like that for the entertainment of the spectators. I wish we still had that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, because I've seen all these like armored guys events and they're not as good as what you'd think. Like now it's like MMA fights but with armor on.
I've seen a couple of good ones. There's some of them that are pretty shite, but there was one, I'm sure there was one I was watching with you one time where they're sort of like it's sort of like a muddy arena with the fence around in a square, and there's like 8 guys on one side and 8 guys on the other, and one team lost like 7 guys and the other team only lost like 2, and the remaining 6 just had this one last guy in the corner just smashing the absolute fuck out of them with like the pommels on the swords or like with the maces or what have you. I've seen one as well where it's like a sort of straight line, like the arena's like a straight line and you got one guy at one side and then like 10 guys at the other side, and the 10 have to like come at him like one by one, and he's just got to get through as many of them as possible, like fighting all these 10 guys one after the other.
I've always wanted to do like a fucking BMX jousting with you, but with armor on, and we'll fucking like once we start making money to buy armor.
Well, just do it. I'll just do it. Get a fucking dustbin lid for a shield and that, you know what I mean? Just go cheapo shit. Fucking wallpaper tube for a fucking lance.
Do you know what it is? I've always pictured it though. It'll look good, like a fucking like a proper really good armor, but you're just on a random BMX. I thought it would look quite funny.
Like a pure shitty Diamondback or whatever that cheap brand was.
I was trying you on about because Diamondback was actually like mid tier.
Aye. Was it Mongoose?
No, like
they were good as well, weren't they?
And now it's on you on about. There used to be at that peddling. They used to sell them, and they're always orange or green. Like, there's them Tiger bikes, but they were called something else. I can't remember now. I had this chrome and gold BMX that was like a Tiger one, and it was one of the best bikes I had as a kid. Like, I used to go so fast on it. It was the best I've given back as well, because it had stun pegs on the back and that. It was a fucking mint BMX I had.
I had a bike when I was a kid that was like, I was sort of gutted when I grew out of it. It was like a little black and yellow mountain bike, but it was like, I had it when I was in like sort of like year 4 or something like that, I think, maybe even younger. I used to take it up to the skate park, like before they'd done it out in concrete, or like, do you remember when it was all the metal ones, the metal ramps, and I used to go for like, I used to clear the box on it all the fucking time when I was like 10.
Right.
Fucking sweet. So it was sort of the size of a BMX, but it had the suspension of a mountain bike, like, so it was, you just wouldn't feel the impact when you did a huge jump. Like, I fucking loved it.
Sounds class, that.
Proper.
Trying to fucking think of loads of that mad stuff I'd do if I had like money, because if you had like that ridiculous amount of money, you could just pretty much do whatever you wanted. You could wake up and go, I want to go here, and you can.
Like, I fancy some food from some country for breakfast, and instead of just like ordering a takeaway, you just hop in a fucking jet and get there in like fucking half an hour.
Do you know what it is, right? I'd like to like proper give, but I know if I could like spend like £1 trillion every day and never run out of money, sort of thing. Like, if I'm that silly rich, like, I'd like to be like a proper good guy with it though.
I think I'd go evil, like I'd be the evil old miser, like.
Would you?
But I think so.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that. I'd like to think, you know, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd be the good guy that's giving all these charities and buying houses for like homeless people off the street and that and fucking. But realistically, now I'm probably just gonna be like buying private islands so I don't have to deal with another person in my life. Like, just fucking getting shit flown into us and dropped by like parachuting that.
I'd proper fuck the whole economy, me, because I just go around just giving people like stupid money.
Wait, if everyone's rich, then no one's rich. You know what I mean? Like, if everyone's got £1 million, it's the same as everyone having £10. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing, and this is why you sort of need to have a class system, because I'm proper like against anti like establishment sort of thing and anti like greedy like benefiting the rich people. But say for example, if they're like, right, we want to like thingy, if you give everyone like £1 million, like in whatever country you are, the landlords are going to go, everyone's got £1 million, your rent's now like, instead of being £1,000 a month, your rent's now fucking 10 grand a month.
It'll be fucking 750 a month.
Aye, and so like the you know what I mean? So like it'll just fuck the economy. It'll just make the money worth less. Like as horrible as it sounds, there has to be poor people. You need it, or else like I say, so just like if you give everyone in the country £1 million, like £1 million the new poor, like the status doesn't change really. You know what I mean? I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, it's mad. But do you know what I don't understand, right? Like, do you know how, like, for example, someone who owns Coca-Cola, like how many people that employs, right? The guy that owns that, realistically, like, he doesn't need that money anymore. He's a fucking billionaire now.
Yeah.
So why do they keep doing it? I just don't understand, because as soon as I've made $1 billion, I'll never work again. So what's the point in keeping these companies going? Like, are they doing it purely because people need jobs?
Well, it's still, I mean, you'll never be happy with what you've got. No matter how much you've got, you'll always want more. But also, it's like they don't have to worry about it. Like, it's not as if guy who owns Coca-Cola is like clocking into the factory every day, mixing up the ingredients by hand and fucking screwing the caps on the bottles himself and that, you know what I mean? He's just sitting there watching this money roll in, and then when he dies, it'll just go to his kid. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have to really worry about it. Like, he's not grafting his arse off for it.
Like, because that's the whole point of having like a board of directors and things like that, innit? Like, the guy who generally owns it, like, he'll just hook and have people running it for them. I've always understood that, but like, I didn't understand it. Like, that's why, to be fair, I don't really want to be rich. I think I'd end up dead, because I just do stupid things. I'd end up dead.
Buying Lamborghinis and trying to see how fast it can go down the fucking A19 and that.
Yo, fucking see, it's like get a fucking Kawasaki Ninja and see if I can clear the slaggy and that.
Aye, right. So if you come up at it from the sort of south side, see if you can like jump far enough to get into the fucking clock field.
Aye, I'm one of them where like I want to have I always want better and something like that, but like the guy I work for now, like he's so obsessed with money. It's sort of like I'm so glad I'm not like that, because like there was it, because obviously we're bricklayers, and like there was this like proper old fashioned like cement mixer that was there, and I was like, hey, look at that like retro thing, and then he just turned around and was like, never mind that, look at the land you could build a house on, that make millions of that. And I'm like, do you not switch off just once? Like, do you just think about making money all the time? Like, I'm on them way out. I would enjoy having like a better lifestyle and things like that, but at the same time, I'm so glad I'm not like that motivated, and I just don't think about money all the fucking time.
Same. Like, he is happiest who is content with the least.
Like, do you know what it is? I can sort of like, I respect his ambition and things like that. But sometimes I think it can be unhealthy for people, you know.
100%. I do. It's like an obsession. It'll be the end of you. He needs to fucking read Moby Dick, dude.
Like, I think you need a good balance of ambition and then like appreciate what you've got now. We're already living like millionaires or some people, you know, like now, like people that live in mud huts and things like that, they probably look at us as we're looking at people in mansions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So we're already fucking rich. We're already like richer than someone else's eyes anyways. You know what I mean?
I've seen something about like so it was some like Reddit thread about like, you know, what's your experience with like people who didn't realize how good they've had it and stuff, and there's this one where he's like, I had this friend in school who had like a sort of like a upper middle class family, and they had like this really big like house by this river and stuff, and they had like their own boat, and like they took them down on a trip on the river, and their house was like essentially a mansion, but theirs was sort of the smallest along the river. And like he was saying, like going down the river, the dad was like, oh, it's crazy seeing how the other half live looking at all these big houses. And it's like, mate, you are the other half, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, you're rich, yeah, like, there's no way you can go on as if you're pure living in poverty when you've got, like, fucking, you know, the kind of people who, like, every evening they're like, oh, I'll choose from me selection of wines in me wine rack what I'll fucking have tonight, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, I'm pure poor, me, I'm pure poverty stricken. Like, fuck off.
Like, do you know what is? That's another, because I've thought about this so long, because, like, half is, it does want to be, like, really rich one day, but the other half is, it's like, it doesn't really matter, because as soon as you, like, move into these, like, higher class areas and things like that, like, you're gonna bring up your kids around there, and then they're gonna go to school that's got, like, with people that have got treble size houses than you, and then you're just, like, you've moved into a place where you're just, like, the worst out of them.
A small fish in a big pond.
Aye, it's like, I don't like that. Like, because it's in human nature that you're never happy. It's like, for example, like, now when you get your first car, you love that car, and then, like, as soon as you've had that car for a year, then you want, like, a fucking, like, a 20 grand car, and then after you've got a 20 grand car, you want a 50 grand car. You're never ever happy where you are anyways. I'd rather be, it's almost like, like, in school, like, I'd rather be the cleverest in B band than the stupidest in A band. And I think the same with money. I'm just not that financially ambitious, to be fair. Like, I've worked for minimum wage before, and I've worked for good money before, and, like, it's never really changed us.
You know, better off, dude. Like, as soon as you got more income, you find yourself having more outcome as well, you know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And, like, another thing as well is, like, you're just as likely to lose what you've got as a rich person is what a poor person has. Everything you've got's temporary. Even your life's only temporary. Like, I'd rather have it good in, like, a middle area than fucking, like, go to a thing. Like, imagine, like raising your kids and you have this big house and something goes wrong, you lose it, and you end up back where you started. Like, it's going to be horrible. Another thing as well is, like, I don't want fucking rich, spoiled kids neither. Like, I see it's like, if I fucking, like, come in and it's like, oh, like, I want a fucking Lamborghini for me fucking 18th birthday, and I'm like, no. And it's like, well, all my mates have got one sort of thing. I'd be like, you spoiled little cunt.
Proper dude. I'd hate that shit. Like, it's like fucking Ozzy Osbourne as well. I mean, he grew up in Birmingham, you know what I mean? So he's not exactly a pure millionaire's child. But his kids are proper brats, dude. Like, I fucking hate both of his kids.
Aye. Like, I've seen it on the Osbournes. Like, I'm not sure what they are now, but, like, when you hear them sort of whinging and whining on, you think, fucking hell. But that's their normal life. Like, and like, teenage kids are always going to whinge about their ordinary life. It's a bit like on GTA, you're not seeing the way the kids go on to Michael and shit like that. I fucking hate them.
Aye, well, that's what, like, I recently replayed the story of GTA because I didn't realise when I first did it that you had a choice to not kill you, because it comes to a point where you have to either kill Michael or Trevor, and I didn't realise you could choose, actually, I'll kill neither of them.
Aye.
I chose to kill Michael. One reason was because it turned out he was a fucking rat and he was working for the fucking FIB the whole time. And the other reason is because I wanted to kill his family to give him some peace, you know what I mean? Because he had no joy with them. His wife's shagging everyone she meets. His daughter's shagging everyone she meets, trying to fucking show her tits on TV and that. His son's a pure ungrateful little bastard, fucking taking his car out and wanting fucking fancy fucking cars and all that shit. Just gonna put him out of his misery. It was sort of a mercy killing in a way.
You know what pissed me off as well? When your son gives you a drink of that thing and then just leaves you out on the street. I was like, you little cunt.
Aye, same dude. I was raging. Pure sets you up.
And that's what you're gonna have growing up like that. That's what money gets you. That shit. Like, and especially like the kind of women you end up with when you're a millionaire as well. They're just gonna end up fucking like shagging the one with a bigger house as soon as they get the chance.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll always be sort of paranoid. Like, are they really with me for me, or is it just because I've got shitloads of money? 99% of the time, it's just gonna be because you got shitloads of money. I was playing this game called Hell Let Loose, which is like quite comms dependent. Gotta just be speaking with your team and stuff like that. And then there's people, dude, who just pure. I mean, there's the ones who play the songs down the mics and that we've discussed before. And then there's the ones who like have the microphone like pure inside their mouth, and it's just pure like mumbled as fucking loud as fuck, and you kind of turn individual people down. So it's like if I turn him down, it's turning everyone else in my squad down. Like, it's fucking annoying as fuck.
I can, like, it sounds like a pain in the arse. Like, I can't understand how like people haven't got like half decent mics mics in 2024, me.
Aye, and I say like some of it does just sound like they're on like the old 360 headsets where it was just like, you know, where it only had like one bit of it, yeah, and then it was just a raw bit of plastic on the other side. Like it just sounds like them.
Like this very microphone I'm using now, like fair enough, it's nowhere near the best, but it's nowhere near as bad as some of the shit I hear there, and this was only 19 quid.
Exactly. However, as soon as you bring it up, I will call you out for something on the last episode. You're like a pretty loud guy anyway, like your normal talking is most other people shouting.
Aye.
And then there was a bit where you like went to shout something and you leaned like right into the mic as if you don't just talk loud as fuck anyway.
Do you know what it is? I don't think I've done that on purpose. But then again, like, it's not like I'm doing that throughout an hour long of a game. You know what I mean?
Oh, aye, and like, it wasn't like a big deal. And then, like, plus, because we've got the audio limiters on and stuff, like, it's not going to make people's ears bleed and stuff like that. And fucking, I can sort of, when we're doing it in post for YouTube, we can turn it down there and stuff like that.
Well, I've actually turned it down for this episode, yeah, because when I was editing that, I thought, like, I might sort of turn it down from the source, from the get-go. Like, I've turned it down a couple of decibels already for this one, so I'm hoping it's sounding better.
On you or like overall?
No, for me, yours didn't seem that bad.
Let's say it's just because you're a pretty loud guy anyway, you know what I mean? It's
because I'm deaf. It's because like working without me earplugs on at work, like I'm deaf as fuck. Plus, like these are really good at cancelling out the noise. It's purely because I can't hear myself.
Aye, that is another problem. Like, I'm probably talking louder now with these on than I would be if I was just talking to someone that's in the same room as us. Like, but you've kind of always been loud, like even before you worked in that, like when we were kids in school and that. But I think it's sort of like how you were, like sort of the environment you were raised in. You know what I mean? Because like your ma and your dad are kind of loud as well.
Aye, maybe. I don't really give it that much thought, but I was definitely worse after fucking thingy. Like, I was working with this thing called a mag drill. Someone done a decibel reading on it, and we weren't wearing earphones, and it turned out what happened where now the little things you roll up and put in your ear, we ended up having to put them in and then headphones on, like the block the noise. We had to like do a double, and no one else could be working on the floor as we were. Like, someone done like a decibel reading, it was like something like 15 times over the safe limit or something. It was stupid, like the noise it was making. And
what machine is this?
It's called a mag drill. It like drills like holes in steel, and it's like got a magnet. If you flick it on, and it like the magnet sticks it on, cause it's that heavy, you kind of just hold it and do it. And plus with the drilling, like if you're holding it, it'll just spin. Like, it's like got a magnet, and then you're slowly but surely like drilling into the steel. But the high pitch it makes is fucking ridiculous.
I bet it's horrible. Like,
I was thingy, and I'm definitely deaf since coming off on that job.
Without a doubt, it does sort of damage your ears and that. Like, I've got not like badly, but I get sort of occasional bouts of tinnitus or tinnitus or whatever you call it. But like just from like the amount of gigs I went to as a kid.
Aye.
Like, if there's ever like absolute silence, like as soon as I notice that goes, I just get this sort of like squeaking in me fucking ears.
Aye. Oh, that would be horrible, that, dude.
It's not great. Like, it's not bad though. There's people that have got it a lot worse than me, you know what I mean? Mine's pretty low level. It's pretty good. Like, it's almost quiet enough to ignore.
Aye, like a lot of people that used to work on like the big guns in the Navy and things like that get it bad, don't they?
I mean, a lot of them end up going like pretty much totally deaf. Like, I don't know if there's a difference between being like totally deaf and having it so that the ringing in your ears is just constantly drowning out everything else.
That would do my head in, that.
Same. I would much rather be like totally deaf and it be absolutely silent in my head.
100%. But was there anything else you wanted to say about like the sort of microphone etiquette in itself?
Have your microphone at a reasonable distance from your mouth, you know what I mean? Like, don't pure like cram it into your foot. Like, have your teeth pure rubbing up against it when you're opening and closing your mouth and that. Actors who play bad guys.
Aye, there's a few of them that purely play bad guys.
Like, that's their sort of role. Like, you never see them being a good guy in a film.
Aye.
And that's the thing. Like, I have a lot of respect for those people now, because I used to, like, particularly as a kid and stuff, I sort of had trouble differentiating the character from the actor. Someone who played a good guy in a film I liked, I would like that actor and I would watch other films that he was in because I liked that character rather than that actor. And I found it hard to sort of like split the difference between the two. I did sort of manage to do that, but then I realized, and it was only recently as well that I was doing the same with people who play the bad guy. There'd be a bad guy in something. Like, I would sort of hate that actor because I hated the character so much.
Aye.
But then I realised, like, I hate that character so much, which means that this guy's done a good job. Like, he's done his job of making me hate this guy. Like, that was what his intended purpose is for. And he's actually got a lot more, I've sort of got more respect for that than the people who play the good guys now. And the one that made us realise it was, I won't mention any names because there's particular people in the chat that I don't want to give spoilers for the game before because I know they haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But in Red Dead 2, the main bad guy in that, I fucking hated him so much, dude. And you can imagine, like, at like conventions and stuff where they're going and doing like talks and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot more people flooding to like John Marston and Arthur Morgan and stuff than there is to the guy who played the bad guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've sort of got more respect for him in that way, you know what I mean? Because he's like sort of less appreciated because everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who like give the real guy shit because they don't like the character. And it's like, nah, you need to sort of realize, like, he's done his job really fucking well to make you hate this guy.
Aye, like 100%. You've got to respect it. It's like, do you know the guy who played Joffrey of Game of Thrones? He was a really good villain in that. Like, you despised him because he done that good of a job. He ended up quitting acting because he got that much shit for playing that role.
That's crazy, isn't
Like,
it?
he was getting death threats and that, you know, dude. Like,
I do,
like people not know it's
that.
fiction. Like, it's got dragons in. You know what I mean? It's not fucking real. Are you that thick, you fucking idiot? Imagine,
People probably like fucking fan mail to the dragons and that, man. They're fucking idiots.
aye, the people are people are fucking thick as fuck to threaten him. It's almost like when a plumber comes to fix your toilet, are you gonna fucking threaten him because he's done his job well? So why do it with actors? And it's a shame because he's generally quit acting now because of it, and it was his first like big time role.
Yeah, I don't know how old he was as well, but I know his character was young, so I'm assuming he can't have been older than 20. Like, I'm picturing him being like sort of 15, 16 in like season 1.
He was dead young, so he had a mint acting career ahead of him, and it's fucking gone because he kind of had getting death threats because of fucking thick people.
Right. And like, you know how it sort of feels for like people to be sort of making fun of you in school and that, you know what I mean? Imagine it like on a global scale, like people you've never even heard of are writing you fucking letters and that and posting on Twitter like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you cunt. Like, it's mental.
Aye, right.
Celebrities that were like,
there's I reckon Keanu Reeves is one of the fucking coolest ones.
not cool enough to be able to say his name properly, apparently.
But I don't know how the fuck you say that shit.
It is a weird name, like fucking Keanu.
Is that how you say it? Because
That's how I've heard other people say it. I've never met him and had him tell us, but like, that's just how I hear everyone else say it.
I've met someone with exactly the same name as that, but was a lass and she was called Kiana.
They say that's a different name.
Maybe it isn't, but was spelled exactly the same apparently.
I imagine it's sort of being like a sort of Alexander versus Alexandra kind of thing.
Aye, maybe. But it wasn't ever since. If you look up Irish names, dude, and how they're spelled and how they're said, I don't fucking trust names.
Aye, definitely not. Is his name Irish? Like,
Fuck knows.
because if it is, I dare say that his American parents are pronouncing the name wrong. Everyone else is pronouncing his name wrong because of them.
Aye, right.
Maybe you're all right in the end after all.
So, like, aye, but he's the ultimate one. I like him. I think he's cool.
I certainly don't have anything against the guy, but I've never watched anything that he's in. I've never seen. He was in the Matrix one. I've never seen that.
Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventure.
I've seen one of the Bill and Ted films, but I can't remember which one it is.
They've not long done another one as well.
Yeah, I heard they sort of brought back for like a bit of a sort of reboot.
I reckon it's funny as fuck how he turns down Marvel all the time, but said yes to the SpongeBob movie, you know, dude. How he's like the tumbleweed on it.
Is he?
He's a tumbleweed on one of them.
What the fuck?
But it's
dude?
his head on it though, dude. Like he's just a head in a tumbleweed and he's talking to them.
That's weird as fuck.
Aye, dude, it's cool though. Aye, and John Wick. John Wick. I'm not really like an action movie kind of guy, but John Wick is fucking amazing.
I seen a sort of, there was a behind the scenes clip of that was doing the rounds when it was being made. There was this scene he was doing and he's like sort of taking cover behind this pillar while the pillar pillars being shot to bits. Like it's got to be done in one take because it's fucking expensive as fuck. Like they've got to have this concrete pillar with explosives in that go off at the right fucking time and everything like that. And then he fucked up the take, dude. And I was like, what about that?
Right.
Like, so I kind of liked him for that. Like he's supposed to dive out of cover and shoot these people with these dual wielding guns, and he goes to jump out and just sort of like slips over, like fucking up the whole shot, and them having to spend like another fucking $1 million or something just to do another take of this one scene.
Dude, I'd end up fucking that up so much, you know.
I same, dude. Like I feel like if I was an actor, every director would hate me, and if I was a director, every actor would hate me.
Aye, right. There's
Like I'd be ruthless as a director. Like I'm fucking. This is not perfection.
Aye, right. They end up making the best films though.
So I like Stanley Kubrick. Like apparently he put a lot of his actors through hell. Most notably, probably that. I mean, Shelley Duvall reckon she was stressed out from The Shining, and Malcolm McDowell as well, having them things in his eyes in A Clockwork Orange, like holding his eyeballs open. That wasn't CGI or anything. That was actually him with them fucking devices in his eyes.
Fucking hell. I don't think of what I like actors I like. It's mainly because of fan interactions why I end up liking them. Like that Keanu Reeves. Like he just randomly met this couple in a bar or something one night, and they were like obviously stoked that he was there, and they were there to get married, and they were like, oh, you should come to the wedding tomorrow, and he did. Like you know what I mean? Like he didn't have to do that. A lot of actors would have been like no, fuck off, you know what I mean?
I quite like the guy who plays John Marston in Red Dead. Was watching a lot of sort of like behind the scenes stuff and like stuff where they're like talking to fans at conferences and that, and he proper seems like just a totally like normal guy, like compared to the rest of them, you know what I mean? Like fucking, I mean, they're all sort of normal in their own way, obviously, but like everyone's human at the end of the day. But the guy who plays Arthur Morgan is more like outwardly, like it sort of seems as if he's putting on a bit of an act for the fans, whereas Rob Wheathoff, who does John Marston, he's like just having just a regular conversation with these people as if he's just like sitting in his front room smoking a joint with them or something, you know what I mean? Like he just seems like such a chill guy, and like I really appreciate that from like famous people. Like I hate it when it goes to their head.
Aye, right. Do you know what it is? Like I don't know him from anything else though, but like there's a lot of like game actors where like, I mean, they're starting to get bigger and bigger now, where like games are making more money than films now. So
that's actually been the case for a really long time. The games industry pulls in more money than the film and TV industry and the music industry combined.
I can imagine that the expenses though of a game one's more than music and movies though.
Aye, so definitely, but like, I still think it's more like a lot more lucrative, like profitable. They're still pulling in more profits at the end.
Yeah, so like now you're actually starting to see like real actors. I mean, they're all real actors, but like more higher tier actors. But there's only one I've seen where like I knew him from a game and then seen him on other things, and that was the guy who plays Trevor on GTA. Like I've seen him. He's like he only in minor roles, so like he was in a couple of episodes of Better Call Saul, I think. Yeah, I think he's a main character in that Walking Dead, I think, but I've never actually seen that.
Yeah, I haven't either, but yeah, I think he was in that. Like, I was watching little bits of him. Apparently he's a PR asshole about it sometimes, like going on about like people calling him Trevor and stuff, and he's like going on as if these people are idiots and genuinely think that he's a cartoon, and it's like that's not the crack, you know what I mean? It's, you're known for this character, just fucking give the people what they want, you know what I mean?
Like I've heard on a podcast, the guy who plays Michael, he says that he hates it, like people remembering him from GTA, like whereas he's saying I love it, but I've never really seen him on anything else though. But I think he wants to be a serious actor, and I don't think since he done the whole Trevor thing, he's not being taken seriously as an actor.
Well, that's his sort of beef with it, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff where you see that with like people who are in comedy films for years and years and years, and then they try and do something serious and it fucking bombs at the box office. It sort of goes back to not being able to like make a distinction between the character and the actor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think like even though I can, if I met him, I'd still want him to do the fucking Trevor shit, you know what I mean? I would expect the same of me. Like if I was a well-known character in a TV show or a film or a game or whatever it is, and like people were like, oh, you're such and such, and call us the name from the game, like I wouldn't mind that. I don't know, it's to be expected.
It is strange. Like there's only one I've seen that's done. I can't remember his name. I'm shit with actors' names. Like I'm sure him and Owen Wilson do Wedding Crashers, I think, and he's on there. Have you seen Anchorman?
I have, but I can't really remember anyone except Will Ferrell, the guy with the cowboy hat, and that guy from the US office.
Wait, on the first one, he's the anchor proprietor of the rival station.
Vince Vaughn.
And I think that's his name.
Is he in Dodgeball? The guy in Dodgeball?
Aye, I've only ever seen him in comedies up until a film called Hacksaw Ridge. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it. I sort of remember it coming out, but I've never seen it.
Aye, like he plays a sergeant on that, and it's serious, and he does a really good job on it. Like, so I was kind of glad that he done something serious.
He directed. Was it directed? He had some sort of like not an acting role, but some other credit in F is for Family. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Aye, I've seen that. Is that Bill Burr voices in it?
Yeah, and Justin Long's in it as well, which I didn't notice for a while.
I don't know who that is.
The little nerdy sort of weedy kid in Dodgeball, the youngest one on the team.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. Like,
I think he's the guy when they're telling him about Pirate Steve, and they're like, oh, Pirate Steve's back or whatever. He's like, Pirate Steve? And he's like, the guy on the team that dressed like a pirate? Yeah. There's a guy on the team that dresses like a pirate? I'm sure it's him that says that.
I can't, honest to God, it's been that long since I've seen it. Have you seen a Disaster Movie? Oh, This Is the End, sorry, it's called.
I haven't seen This Is the End.
It's Seth, what's he called? Not Seth Rogen, the other Seth.
MacFarlane, Seth Green.
It is even called Seth now. This is how bad I am with names.
What does he look like?
The guy of Pineapple Express.
That's Seth Rogen.
Oh, that is Seth Rogen. I can make that's the second name. I'm thinking I can't think of Joe Rogan.
Oh, right.
I was thinking it's not him. James Franco's in it as well. They all play themselves in the film. It's like basically it's the rapture that's happening, and I like that. And it's funny how they're acting as themselves. But then there's this other, and I'm kind of waiting to move on from this because we're just going to be an hour of me fucking trying to get you to confirm Atna's name, so because I didn't know that he was Canadian, Seth Rogen. And there's this other actor from Canada who's been in a couple of films. He's got black hair. He's in Goon. They're going on saying fucking like how fucking he needs to stop. Like he doesn't like him because he's part of like Seth's old weird Canadian life and that.
Right.
Because he's obviously moved to California, but this other one stayed in Canada.
He's like, oh, it's in the past kind of thing. I don't want to remember that shit. That's funny, that thing.
Because that's Jonah Hill saying that, but like he's playing himself in it, but that's not actually how he goes on. And he's like, I understand he's part of your old weird Canadian life and all this. Like,
you sort of reminded us when you said disaster movie. Did you ever see fucking superhero movie?
I don't think so.
Like it was when all these like spoofs were coming out, all the daft shit that just sort of took the piss out of our films.
Aye.
But like I remember it being pretty funny, but the only bit I really remember of it is like it's like taking the piss out of this bit on Spider-Man where the guy like sort of coughs into a tissue and there's like blood in it and like he, on superhero movies like sees the blood in this guy's tissue. He's like, are you alright? And he's like, yes, this is healthy cough blood. Like it fucking had us in stitches when I was a kid. Like,
aye, right. It's I'm trying to go back to the topic and think of actors I like, and like I like Tom Hanks.
I same actually. I can't think of a film I've seen him in that I didn't like. Although I did find, what was the film? Was it Stranded or something? It was called the one with Wilson.
Castaway, is it?
Castaway, aye, that's the one. I found that to be a bit boring.
I think that was the plot of it though, because
like it's a good concept and that, and he did it well. It's just not the film for me. You know what I mean? I love the Green Mile and stuff like that.
Aye, I think he's one of the best actors around. Like if you look at the different parts he's played, like Forrest Gump isn't an easy role, and he plays that fucking perfect.
Actually, speaking of Forrest Gump, I quite like Gary Sinise as well, who plays Lieutenant Dan and who plays George in Of Mice and Men.
Aye, I haven't seen him in that many things. I've only seen him in that 2 things actually.
Yeah, I know he was in one of the CSIs, I think. No, not that I watched that, but that was sort of where I seen his face from, because me and I used to watch all of that stuff, and then when I seen him in I think it was Of Mice and Men, I seen him in first half that, and I was like, oh, that's fucking what's his face from CSI. And then when I seen Forrest Gump, I was like, oh, it's fucking what's his face? George.
My nana used to watch all that shit, like crime shitty programs. I think the shit.
Aye, same. NCI, yeah.
Aye.
Midsomer Murders and Poirot and that.
It's so fucking corny though. There was this one and she thought I was like sadistic for laughing at it, but it's like, you know how they do sort of the murder at the start? Like it's this one where like it's this high, they don't know who he is because he wasn't meant to be in the high school football team, but he's got a helmet on and he's running with the ball, and out of nowhere he just pulls a gun out and starts shooting people that are trying to tackle him, and then he does a touchdown and fucks off, and they're trying to search for this guy, and I was like, what a fucking shit fucking plot.
If you describe that to us with like no context of it being on like some fucking shit show, like I'd think that was a comedy sketch, dude.
Aye.
That's ridiculous.
Aye, them fucking American shows are corny as fuck, man.
I mean, I know better. Like I said, Midsummer Murders was one of the worst, you know what I mean? It's this little countryside village with about 20 people that live there, and then each fucking week a new person shows up and they're all wondering who the murderer is. It's the fucking new guy. You know what I mean? Yous all know each other. It's obviously the fucking celebrity guest star. Fucking mental.
What's it called there? I like Tom Hanks as well. Do you know what's mad? And it's so obvious. I didn't realise he voiced Woody until I was like 18-year-old or something, you know.
Aye, right. I mean, I didn't sort of like, it wasn't until I was sort of around that age, like late teens, when I started like appreciating voice actors and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Aye.
But yeah, it's what's his face does, fun fact, he only voices Woody on the movies, so what else is there?
That's what I'm thinking, because it's not like there's a spin-off TV show, is there?
Oh, his brother does the video games and toys and that. Yeah, that's pretty mad.
Oh, yeah, that's mad, that. There's a snake in my boot.
I'm sure there was a thing, I can't remember what the crack was, but like, Connor was telling us about something about one of the games. I don't know if it was one of the UFC games or one of the boxing games, but the guy who's the announcer for boxing and the guy who's the announcer for UFC are brothers.
Aye, but they didn't know they were brothers for a long time as well.
I didn't know that. But apparently one of them played the other one on a game. Like he did the voice of his brother, but I don't know which way around it was.
Michael Buffer's the boxing one, and Bruce Buffer's from UFC. Michael Buffer's like, let's get ready to rumble.
And then Bruce Buffer's like, it's time. He'll get sued. Fuck them.
Right, for what? What are they going to take? The bandana?
Yeah, right. So I can fucking have it. I'll get a new one off Amazon for £3.
Aye, right.
Before we move on from fucking Bruce and Michael Buffer, on UFC 4, you could actually choose Bruce Buffer as a playable character.
Aye.
And like when you did the taunts, he would do stuff from his announcement. There was a class one where he'd get like right up in their face and point at them, and then Pierre like shuffle backwards, and like people would swing for you as soon as you do the point, but then you just carry on doing the taunt and shuffle out the way of the fucking punch. It was funny as fuck.
Right.
It's like main shrubs were playing them all the time. They probably had a million like Bruce Buffer versus Bruce Buffer fights.
When the name Hurricanes, like they pick like nice old lady names for one of the most devastating storms of mankind.
Hurricane Ethel and that, and it's just took out 5 states in a row.
Right. Like it is, isn't it? Hurricane Ethel. Like Ethel's like a nice old lady. Like she sounds like the kind of lady that you'd want to knock on Halloween. Like she'd get you something.
Like she's gonna be giving you loads of fucking like full size fucking chocolate bars instead of the little mini versions. And
aye, and then fucking was it then? But then the naming Hurricanes have killed millions of people after Anna.
Right. And I can guarantee you won't meet a single person called Ethel under the age of 70. You know what I mean? And there's no one over 70 causing this much destruction. Is that not Ethel behind you there in the fucking the power chair? I
think that's why she's fucking giggling away there. Look at her.
Right. I was on about the other one. She's Pierre wreaking havoc on a fucking mobility scooter, smashing up shop windows and that. Aye.
Yeah, I'm so bad at this.
Not the guy.
I'd be a shit well that person, me, you know.
I do. Same though, to be honest. Like if I try and point at the Metallica poster, that's probably even the wrong arm.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Ethel sounds like an atom bomb. Aye, it's like Hiroshima. Like it's like the name of the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima was called Enola Gay.
It's I don't know where they get the names from. Like, so I'm sure there's been ones like Hurricane Deirdre and that. Like the only Deirdre I've ever known is that old woman out of fucking Coronation Street, dude.
Aye, right. Oh, I love them Roy Cropper things, me, you know, dude.
Yeah, man. I remember like there was a long period where you were showing us like loads of them, like it went on for like 2 years or something.
Is this other one? It's like cut from the Rise of the Foot Soldier, where he's like he's in prison. He's like, turns out I'm on the same fucking wing as Roy Cropper, and to be truth be told, I'm fucking shit myself. And it's the way they've done it. It's mint. It's like Roy Cropper's there playing pool. It's like, listen here, Pat, I'm not fucking about. I want 2 packs of biscuits and so many couple of suits off you a week. And he's like, listen, Roy, I don't want any fucking problem. I don't want any problems. He's behind jail playing pool with his apron on and that, dude.
He always had that fucking apron, didn't he?
He fucking...
Even if he was going out for a drive to the fucking garage to get his car tuned up and that, he's still got his fucking apron on.
Aye, right. Pierre Brosnan,
Yeah,
I
huge
love it.
ass glasses. You never really see them anymore, like the big, like lenses about that fucking thick, proper, like, you know, like Megsy had on This Is England.
Aye, I think it's because they don't need them like that anymore.
Aye, I suppose. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it was kind of a fashion at the time, you know what I mean?
Fuck Naz, dude, you brought it up the wrong fucking tree when it comes to fashion. I've got a fucking clue.
To be fair, your glasses aren't far from them either, to be fair.
Nah, they're not. The fucking name was it. These are just the cheapest ones I found online. I'm sick of getting expensive ones. I just fuck them at work.
For some reason, even though you said cheapest, which obviously means you bought them, when you said found, I thought you were going to say in a skip. Like,
I just rummaged through. They're not even prescribed to me.
it was just sort of like the next bit of the line that popped into my head all of a sudden as soon as you said I found them. I was like, in a skip.
On the bus and that.
Right. The lenses are so refined these days that can make them super thin with the same effect as a double glazed conservatory. Double glazed conservatories don't really magnify anything. No, I'm just waiting you.
Imagine if they did though. Like you sit in a conservatory and everything, you see a fucking spider and it's like fucking this.
Yeah, I'd fucking shit myself, me, like being able to see it fucking slavering and that.
Oh fuck that, dude.